The BNP Paribas Showdown for the Billie Jean King Cup. We'll start with semifinal one, Kim Clijsters and Ana Ivanovic. It really is nobody more than you, Lindsay Davenport, who can relate to what Kim Clijsters has done in the last 8 months or so to come back after taking, what, 2.5 years off, giving birth, to come back, to walk into her first major and win it, then turn around and go to Australia and get shocked with an early loss. She's lived both extremes.
Well, both extremes, exactly. No one was really picking her to win the U.S. Open. I thought she was an outside chance there, but she proved everyone wrong, beating both Venus and Serena. But like, as you said, a completely, almost astonishing loss in Australia. Really was probably the favorite with Serena. And not only does she lose in the third round, but only wins one game. And she was at a loss for words over why it exactly happened.
What did Kim do that surprised you to make that comeback as well as she did?
It was her mental ability in the matches to still compete. You play the game so well, but when you're away for 2.5 years, the game does change a little bit. She was always in great physical shape, so that was never a problem, but she seemed to compete much better after the baby than before. Sometimes people say nerves got in the way. She looked like she didn't have a care in the world at the U.S. Open.
I guess Ana Ivanovic is living the other side right now. Ana, former French Open champ, foreigner #1. Things just, it's a slide that seems to be continuing for her. Another early loss at the Australian, then 3 losses at Fed Cup. And it's so she's really searching for answers right now.
She is. She's hired a new coach, but the story is a little familiar to Eva Maioli. After Eva won the French in '97, Eva never ascended to #1, but after she won that one Grand Slam title, results just went away, and that's really what's happened to Ivanovic. We'll see if the new coach and Heinz Guntart can help turn her game around.
And that's the key. Ivanovic has gone back and forth with the Adidas program and Sven Grunfeld, but now she's gone to Steffi Graf's former coach.
And that's a good play for her. I mean, Heinz Guntart is a master of discipline, and that's really what Ivanovic needs. So many unforced errors come into her game. A lot of times you get the impression she doesn't actually have a game plan, isn't trying to read her opponent's weaknesses, and Heinz will definitely bring that mental ability into her game.
When you say discipline, you mean discipline on the court, in her game,
absolutely.
Right?
Discipline, know what shots you're going for, don't make stupid errors. I mean, you never saw Steffi Graf do anything that would puzzle you, and he'll try and bring that to Ivanovic's game as well.
All right, well, Clijsters and Ivanovic will play one set in the semifinal. Rules in place tonight for this BNP Paribas Showdown. The 2 semifinals will each be one set with no ad scoring, and if the players tie at 6, they'll play a super tiebreak that will be decided if needed on the 13th point. Finals will be best of 3 sets, and again with no ad scoring. And we are set for the players. Ana Ivanovic, a late entrant to the BNP Paribas Showdown. Serena Williams, who headlined here last year along with Venus, unable to play because of a leg injury, trying to make sure that she's ready for the upcoming major event that she'll play in Key Biscayne. And so for Ana Ivanovic, a night to kind of, maybe Lindsay, I should ask you, does she treat this night as a night where she can just relax a little bit and play tennis without the pressure of points?
Interesting. You think that would be the case for an exhibition, but this is so much more here in Madison Square Garden. We've got a ton of people here, a lot of money on the line. But for Ivanovic's game, we'll see if she's able to relax and if that produces better tennis.
And for Kim Clijsters, a champion here in New York last September, it's almost becoming a second home in the metropolitan area. Of course, Kim from Belgium, married to American Brian Lynch from New Jersey, and they're building a home in Jersey.
Spent the last 2 weeks here trying to give her daughter a little flavor of the United States and Belgium.
U.S. Open champion, Kim Clijsters.
And enjoying being back at the Garden. So Kim Clijsters, Ana Ivanovic on court, their semifinals straight ahead on Tennis Night in America. Now the snows that struck New York City late last week have subsided. A beautiful, kind of an early spring feel in the air today and tonight as 4 champions arrive again in Madison Square Garden, which for so many years was the host for the year-end women's championships. In fact, Kim Clijsters played one other time here at the Garden, and that was in the final year-end championship. She snuck in 2000 as a 17-year-old to play in that title. Back 10 years later tonight to play Ana Ivanovic. Of course, this is a special night. Some very important people have made this possible. And the third member of our broadcast team, Scott Lasky, courtside with a special guest. Scott?
Thanks, Ted. We're joined by Everett Schenk, CEO of BNP Paribas North America. So nice to see you. Can you explain for the people that are here, the people that are at home watching, what exactly is BNP Paribas?
Well, of course, it's one of the largest banks in the world. It's one of the most international banks in the world. We're located in 83 countries. We have 200,000 people, employees. We've got over 17,000 employees here in the United States. We have a retail operation in California called Bank of the West, and our own corporate investment banking activities are headquartered right here in New York. So this is a perfect venue for us. This is a home city for me, anyway.
You just did the coin toss. Was that from someone's safety deposit box or savings account? Was it they gave you the coin?
Oh, no, they gave me the coin. I gave it back, too.
Okay, good. You sponsored it last year. Of course, you're the sponsor this year. Was it pretty much a no-brainer because it was so successful last year?
Well, first of all, we're the tennis bank in the world. So we sponsor tennis all over the place. We are the sponsor of the French Open, as you know. We're the sponsor of the Grand Slam of the West, which is the BNP Paribas in Indian Wells. Sponsor the Fed Cup, the Davis Cup, and you know the U.S. won the Davis Cup in 2007. We actually sponsor tennis tournaments all over the world in well in excess of 500. So we, the tennis bank, for us, having an opportunity to be a title sponsor, an event at Madison Square Garden, which is the
Mecca
marquee sports venue in the world, is just terrific. So we find this outstanding. We've got a lot of clients here. We finance corporate America, financial institutions, hedge funds, private equity, governments. It's great. We've got a lot of clients here, and we're all in New York, and we love Madison Square Garden. It's great.
This just turned into a 30-minute infomercial. You did a great job.
Right.
Enjoy a fabulous evening tonight, all right? Thanks so much. Ted, back over to you.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And BNP Paribas, a very great friend and supporter to tennis. We are in the warm-up here for Ana Ivanovic and Kim Clijsters in the BNP Paribas Showdown. Will be set for first ball coming up. So at Madison Square Garden, getting set for Kim Clijsters, Ana Ivanovic, Venus Williams, Svetlana Kuznetsova to follow. In the semifinals, Kim Clijsters. Hard to believe she took over 2 years off and back in the game and still just 26. 17 in the world. She's actually had more weeks at #1 than any of the 4 players in this event tonight. She's had 19 total weeks at #1. Of course, that pales next to one Lindsay Davenport, who had a 38-week run at one point.
Long time ago.
You knew that. Ana Ivanovic, 12 weeks in 2008 as #1 after she won the French Open. She actually played back-to-back finals at the French, 07 and 08. And there you see the rank, which has fallen to 27. Her year record just 4-4, and we mentioned that in the Fed Cup tie, unable to gain a point in 3 matches for Serbia. So it's clearly I guess it's a struggle. And Lindsay, I don't think you can probably use any other word for it on his game right now.
Absolutely. The most alarming thing about Ivanovic's struggle is it's been almost a year and a half now. She hasn't been able to turn it around in quite a while. It starts to weigh on your mind mentally the longer that slide continues.
One of the most decorated American chair umpires, Lynn Welch, here as we're underway. When you look at Ivanovic, Lindsay, do you still see the game? Is the game still there to be a top 5 player?
Well, she definitely has to make some improvements. The serve has been well documented, how off that's gone in her game. She also technically needs to make a few adjustments on that backhand wing. She'd be well served to actually watch Kim Clijsters' backhand. Kim's able to move that ball around the court. Ivanovic doesn't use her left wrist that much, so as an opponent, you know that backhand's mostly going to go down the line or up the middle.
So are people